right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the party. Let's get a little music going on in here. I kind of got all goofy here trying to have these intro songs I play. Let me do this. All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to November 5th, 2024. This is episode 744 of Simply Cyber's daily cyber threat pre-podcast. What's cracking, everybody? We're going to be shredding the top cybersecurity news stories the next hour or so, joined by friends and Simply Cyber community members, Tony, Roy, Nerman. I want to say special shout out to Hope, who was at Simply CyberCon and is a passive observer. She doesn't engage in the comments, but she was wonderful, supportive, volunteer, and engaged at the conference. So what's up, Hope? Good to see you. We got Tom Bishop, the boot, Luke Canfield, Alana Boyasian, guys. So many of y'all coming in hot for the Simply Cyber Daily Cyber Threat Brief, where we shred the top cyber news stories of the day. I give my expert opinion and analysis on each of the stories on what it means to you as a practitioner. So how can you use this information to do something of value, to drive cyber risk reduction for your business stakeholders, to protect your friends, family, loved one, how you could be the absolute bee's knees at the Thanksgiving dinner table in a couple weeks. And pick it up what I'm putting down. It is an election day in the United States, so watch out. A lot of activity going on. Be sure to exercise your civil liberties if you are a U.S. citizen, and get out there and vote. Not a political show, but first year I've ever discovered early voting, and I love it. I love it. I love it.
I'm a crypto evangelist. I love it.
Now, I want you to know that I don't prep or research for any of these stories. I barely have time to pour this giant cup of coffee. You know why? Ain't nobody got time for that. So I just crack up these stories, get ready to rock and roll, and we each do it like we're working at a work, business, office, whatever you want to call it, together, getting stuff done. I do want to share that I'm experimenting with a new usually I have the fancy looking crowd of people sitting there. Right now I'm looking at the team photo from Simply Cyber Meetup Las Vegas 2024, and you are a bunch of beautiful babies. I love it. Josh Mason, Carlos, we got Kev Tech in there, Matt, James McQuicken at 35,000 feet. Guys, we're going to be absolutely crushing it today. I hope you are so excited for the show. So am I. Before we get into it, let me give some love to the stream sponsors, those who enable me to get this cup of coffee and get after it every single day. Starting with Barricade Cyber Solutions. Barricade Cyber Solutions is dedicated to helping businesses from cyber attacks and recover from the damage done. Cyber attacks can cause massive issues for businesses and send dedicated, hardworking business owners into turmoil. But guess what, y'all? Eric Taylor, Casually Joseph, Justin Gold, the team over at Barricade Cyber knows how to mitigate the damage done by cyber incidents. They know how to eat threat actors out the environment. See you later. Check them out at barricadecyber.com. Links in the description below. What you want is having them on speed dial in case your business catches digital fire, if you will. All right. Also want to say holla, 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 holla to Delete Me. Delete Me is stream sponsor. Now, guys, listen really quickly. You may or may not know that I have spicy hot takes, right? They're not always wicked spicy. Sometimes they're more milquetoast than anything. But I do have spicy hot takes. Not everyone agrees. I have a large YouTube channel, so I get trolly comments from time to time. I've had people tell me I suck, whatever. And then they didn't. I asked them if they could qualify that a little bit, and nothing. So I don't know. But as a person who shares my opinions and hot takes daily, I'm aware of my safety and security, especially because I'm responsible for my wife and children. Many of you who have met at Simply CyberCon 2024. So because the data is just hanging out on the internet that can have real life consequences of my personal information, I got to do something about it. I recently found a solution. The service is called Delete Me. Delete Me is a subscription service that removes your personal info from the largest people search databases on the web, and in the process helps prevent ID theft, doxing, and phishing scams. When you sign up, you tell Delete Me what you want deleted. I said go take care of all of it. Monthly, they give me a personalized report telling me what they deleted, where they found it. It's pretty awesome. And for me personally, I don't have time to manage my online privacy, so being able to delegate it out is perfect Take control of your data and keep your private life private by signing up for Delete Me Now at the special discount for all y'all Simply Cyber listeners. Today, get 20% off your Delete Me plan when you go to joindeleteme.com/simplycyber and use promo code simplycyber at checkout. The only way to get 20% off is to go to joindeleteme.com/simplycyber and enter code simplycyber at checkout. It's joindeleteme.com/simplycyber. I do want to say what's up to the stream mods. I see Kimberly Can Fix It, Justin Gold, Casually Joseph, Chris Whitlock, recent addition to the mod team. Way to go, Chris. Welcome to the party, pal. Guys, every single episode, including this one of Daily Cyber Threat Brief, is worth half a CPE. So say what's up in chat. Grab a screenshot of you saying what's up. It's on stream. It's undeniable that you're here. File it away once a year. Count the screenshots, divide by 2. Chef's kiss. That is your number of CPEs. We see Kathy Chambers in chat today. Hey, Kathy Chambers. Wait, Kathy, wait until you get the Antisyphon ad read today. We've punched it up a little bit. I'm pretty excited about it. Stay tuned for Jawjacking at the end of the hour, where Eric Taylor will be absolutely melting your face with hot cyber tips, tricks, and AMA type stuff. It's going to be all about good times. All right, guys. Final. I know many of you are friends, regulars, community members. I see Mara Levy, Triple D, Pamela FedEx, Lazaro. I'm sure Hannah's creeping in the background. Kathy, guys, so many familiar. Kayla Sturgeon, Tom, right? So many. I really appreciate this community. Love you guys. If it is your first time here, though, drop a hashtag first timer in chat. Just because we have inside jokes, just because people have been here a long time, doesn't mean we aren't welcoming new people. And today could be your day to be your first day. Everybody was here for the first time at some point. So drop a hashtag first timer in chat. Lucas Prail, what's up? Luis Sosa, what's up? Hey, say what's up in chat. Hashtag hashtag first timer if it's your first time. Hashtag Team SC if you're a regular. All right, we are going to Luke Canfield's here. Kimberly, gosh, so many great people. We've already started planning 2025. Get up, get down, let's go. All right, guys. As much as it's fun to play around and have good times, we do have work to do. So I'm going to go ahead and top off the coffee. It is Tuesday, so it's Tidbits Tuesday. So I'll share a little bit about me later on in the show. Oh, yeah, dude, it's raining down here in the low country too, Nathan Allison. Brutal. All right, guys. Hey, all of you, sit back, relax, and let's let the cool sounds of the hot news wash over all of us in an awesome wave. I will see you all at the mid-roll. Let's go.
From the CISO series, it's Cybersecurity Headlines.
These are the cybersecurity headlines.
Whole Cyber Human Initiative with 5 gifted subs. Thank you so much.
Did we just become best friends? Yep.
All right, if you're one of the 5 who's picking up those gifted subs, go to the squad emo tray. You're going to get a bunch of them in there, and definitely drop those Oprahs. Thanks so much, Paul.
For Tuesday, November 5th, 2024, I'm Lauren Verno. Schneider Electric breach for the second time this year. Schneider Electric confirmed a breach on its developer platform after a threat actor named GREP, that's G-R-E-P, claimed to have stolen 40 gigabytes of data from the company's Jira server. The intruder reportedly used exposed credentials and a mini orange REST API to scrape 400,000 rows of user data, including 75,000 unique email addresses and full names of Schneider Electric employees and customers. Though the company emphasized their products and services remain unaffected. GREP, who is part of a newly formed hacking group called International Contract Agency, or ICA, had threatened to leak the data if the company did not acknowledge the breach. So we'll have to wait and see what the threat actor does next. And again, as mentioned, this is not the first time Schneider Electric was breached this year. In January, the company's sustainability division was ransomed and terabytes of data was allegedly stolen.
All right. Couple things here, all right? So check this out. First of all, remember, Schneider Electric is massive, okay? They're a massive, massive company. So for them to have been hacked earlier this year, like, yeah, I get it, but when you are a massive conglomerate, you have all sorts of attack surface. This is a little different than, what was it, like the city of Columbus or something getting hacked and then getting hacked again? Like, yeah, that's big, but not, like Schneider Electric is like one of the biggest in that OT space. So I just wanted to qualify that. Like, yes, it's not great that they got hit, but it's almost like a separate business altogether, their sustainability division. Now, let's talk about this. They use Jira, which is a ticketing system, in order to do tickets, right? Like if you watched Wade Wells, Josh Mason, Simply Defensive yesterday, talking about essentially hacking metrics in the SOC. It's those tickets that they get. If you've ever worked support desk, help desk, it's tickets. It's how they track time to close, common problems, et cetera, et cetera. Jira is just one of those. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I'm like 99% sure. So anyways, all this data is in there, and apparently there was exposed credentials. Remember, there's only, and you could drop this in a job interview, there's really only 3 ways a threat actor is going to penetrate. Please calm down. There's only 3 ways that a threat actor is going to penetrate your environment, right? And you tell me if I'm missing one, okay? Misconfiguration of technology, 0-day or like a security vulnerability, which is the sexy one, and then compromised credentials. So they either log in because they have actual creds, they log in because the thing's misconfigured and it's just set to public or, whatever, you can just get to it. Or the really, really hacky Hollywood one where you drop a payload on the 0-day and then you backdoor their firewall and then you reroute through Friendster, right? That's a bunch of nonsense what I just said. But that's what Hollywood does. So it's only 3. Credentials are like number 1 right now. Like it's like reigning supreme. Creds, you can get them through info stealers. People reuse creds. You can do password spraying, password credential stuffing. Like, that's what's happened. Now, what I want to point out here is I think the real lead, got to get a Ricola up in here. I think the real read here and the buried headline is there seems to be a resurgence in a threat actor hacker demographic that we really frankly haven't seen too much of since the mid 90s. Okay. The guy, and I'm going to take a stab at this one. Okay. And say it's a male. Okay. So the guy who did this, I would believe to be ready. 18 to 24 years old, very much doing it for the lulz. They hacked into Schneider Electric, downloaded gigabytes of data, and then went and taunted them on Twitter or X, right? So taunted them, did not ask for payment. This person says that they are a member of a collective called the International Contract Agency, which is named after a fictitious group inside of the Hitman video game series. Jesus, Jerry. The Hitman video game series. So you're seeing a lot of indicators of youth, right? Like, yeah, I'm 40, whatever, and I absolutely could be into the Hitman gaming series and then create instead of calling it simply cyber, we could call it International Contractor Agency, but that's not likely to happen. All these things kind of point to a younger demographic. Now, if in fact they posted to Twitter to taunt this group, my suspicion is that that individual was posting to Twitter to taunt in order for his peers to see what he had done and how he'd done it in order to give him prestige and credibility, right? Inside of his peer group, which is this hacker community, which is exactly what it was like in the 90s, right? Go back. I mean, not to say that Loft Crack was or Loft Group was necessarily bad, but go watch the Johnny Lee Miller, Angelina Jolie 95 Hackers movie. It's more about the challenge. It's more about the prestige. That's what is happening here. And honestly, just the fact that he posted and was flexing to his peers gives me suspicion that there's this rash of like hackers that are going to start coming up. Again, if I was a threat actor, if I was a victim organization like Schneider Electric, I'd rather, if I have to get compromised, I'd rather get compromised by this guy than by Lockbit ransomware. Yeah, your information got dumped, but it was going to get dumped if a ransomware threat actor got you too. So what's the actual impact? Well, it doesn't look like they're asking for money, so you get off that part pretty easily.
Great cash, homie.
Right? So just some thoughts there.
U.S. says Russia behind fake Haitian voter video. As election day is in full swing, multiple U.S. government agencies have accused Russia for being behind a recent fake video showing alleged Haitian voters with multiple IDs voting illegally in Georgia counties and encouraging others to immigrate under false citizenship promises. Georgia's Secretary of State, Brad Raffensperger, condemned the video as a disinformation effort and urged social media platforms, particularly X, where the video remains available as of this recording, to remove it. The BBC independently confirmed the video as disinformation, identifying elements like fake addresses and stock photos used in the footage.
Okay. So, not a political show, but we knew that deep fake technology, AI, etc., this was coming, right? Now it's being used. It says Russian threat actor, so the United States is giving attribution, so we have to assume that they have high confidence that it is, in fact, Russia. The ideology would map for Russia to be meddling in our U.S. election. The Haitian thing, I'm not going to get into it. We know, like, if you watch the debate, you know all about the Haitian thing. Georgia was a hotly contested state, especially in the 2020 election, right? If you remember counting the ballots in the different counties and all that. So anyways, this all makes sense. And frankly, this is a demonstrated use case of using deep fake technology and AI technologies to effectively spread misinformation. This should come as no surprise to anyone. You should absolutely, and we've talked about this on the stream before, you should absolutely be, like GRC Mafia people, you should be working deep fake and AI technologies into your end user awareness training to make them aware of the capabilities and the capacity for which this tech can be used for harm, misinformation, disinformation, fraud, etc., right? Because it is so cool and so sexy and so hot, you can make very compelling education videos, content, training for your users or your family to demonstrate the capabilities. We talked about it. DJ Bisek talked about it months ago about make a video, deep fake the CEO of the company and have them give everybody a raise or tell everybody to take the day off or tell everybody whatever that he or she likes to dress up like a clown in their spare time. Obviously, don't do something that's going to piss off the executives at your company and cause you to get, not fired, but just do it in a classy, tasteful way, whatever it is. But do it, right? This is good. Now, I will say, again, not a political show, not necessarily a cybersecurity hot take, but what I would say, yeah, AI is so hot.
That Hansel's so hot right now.
What I would say is, I guess Russia is busy with a land war over in Ukraine, and their economy is in tatters. So I get it, but I don't know. Maybe it's easier said than done. We just pulled a conference off in 2 months and it was pretty good. Why is Russia doing this one thing a couple days before the election. Like, I don't know. This seems like one of those ones where like a bunch of like Russians were in like a boardroom or something. Like, oh, we've got some great ideas for misinformation. They're like, yeah, let's do that. And then they just like started playing Baldur's Gate 3 and lost track of time. And then they're like, oh, the election's tomorrow. Get that Haitian voter video out. Stat, right? Like, I don't know. To me, ideas are easy. Execution is hard. And this seems like a half butt execution. All right. Let's see. We got some chat coming in here. Fleetus, Simply CyberCon speaker, Fleetus, spent a decent amount of time on deepfakes and the importance of following policy and procedures, no matter the C-level asking, teach to validate. That's great, Fleetus. And Fleetus's talk at Simply CyberCon was around the human element, not the tech element of training and tabletops and stuff like that. So definitely worthwhile. Anyways, I might even just make some content that people can repurpose for their own to demonstrate deepfakes. James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet works in this space. Perry Carpenter works in this space. So if you don't have the capability or the tech to create awareness training around this type of stuff, maybe we can take care of that. Yeah, Gary Sturgiadis, that's a good point. I voted early. America, we done flipped the script on Russia by voting early.
Ohio's capital city faces lawsuits for handling of ransomware attack. A ransomware attack on Columbus, Ohio in July led to the exposure of over 500 residents' data, including social security numbers, bank account details, and addresses. Now, although city officials initially claimed no data was stolen, the Residia ransomware group published 6.5 terabytes of data on the dark web, including sensitive information related to police and prosecutor databases. The city faced backlash for suing a researcher who exposed the breach, eventually dropping the lawsuit under a restrictive settlement. As lawsuits from affected employees and service restoration efforts continue, the city plans to release a full report in December.
Yeah. Okay. This right here was an absolute case study in how not to handle it. Okay. This pissed me off on a whole new level because the rhythm is the bass and the bass is the treble. All right. That was a Regulators Warren G. Nate Dogg reference. So if you got it, you know what's up. Listen, I think it was Columbus got hit with ransomware. Residia ransomware gang hit. Now remember, this is the story. I'm going to tell you all the things you're not supposed to do. All right. Bunch of boneheads up in Columbus. And I don't normally call people out like that, but this was really, really poorly executed. So they get hit with ransomware and there's a data leak. Okay. Immediately they come out and say, no sensitive information was compromised. Everything's fine here. Go back to work. Okay. Number one, 6.5 terabytes of data was taken. That's not like a thumb drive you drop, okay? 6.5 terabytes. That might be all the data you have, all right? That's an ass load of data. Sorry, Kennedy and Hannah. That's a ton of data, okay? So how I get it. If it's day one, and maybe Eric Taylor can talk about this during jaw jacking, but if it's day one, day two, day three of an active incident, maybe you do a quick analysis of what data you think the threat actors got, and then you tell leadership, but you have to qualify your level of confidence. So I'm sure what happened here is somebody in charge said, what did they get? And then it went trickling down the org chart until it got to a junior engineer, and the junior engineer is like, looks like they just got, I don't know, like the takeout menus for the local Chinese restaurants here in town that we have in the break room. Goes back up. So the executives say, oh yeah, no worries here. Everything's fine. Now, Eric does bring up that the forensics team, the incident responders will be talking to the threat actor. A lot of times threat actors will tell you what they have, so you don't need to go down the chain and back up. Whatever reason it was, whether they lied and they were trying to cover it up. This is the Columbus people. and they knew that this data got out and they were just trying to mollify citizens by saying nothing happened. This is why it's such a dumb decision. It will get out what data is out there. It happened with Joseph Sullivan in Uber. It happens with every dude. You can't trust a threat actor to not say anything, okay? Second item, and this is the one that pisses me off the most. There's a security researcher out of Ohio. I think he was a citizen who was affected by this breach, who literally discovered the data on the dark web and disclosed it. Hey, we've got a big problem here. It's like, this is like literally the equivalent of like the fire chief walking into a house and being like, there's no problems here. And then some random citizen walking by the house sees smoke coming out of the back shed. And they're like, no, there's definitely a fire there. There's definitely a fire. And then the fire chief being like, no, like, get that guy and throw him in jail. This guy got lambasted, ostracized. I think he got arrested. Like, he got treated like crap, and he was blowing the whistle. This is what I hate. I hate when power tries to silence dissent or people who have information that is for the greater good because it makes the power look bad. Anyways, this guy got vindicated and validated, and now it's all out there. Reseda got the data. I don't know what the current state of Columbus is. You can see here, yeah. The city tried to sue the researcher. They dropped their lawsuit against him. He agreed to a permanent injunction that he's only allowed to share parts of the data. This guy was never trying to ransom the city or leverage his information. He was literally trying to do a good thing. Pisses me off. Do you know why it pisses me off? Pisses me off because the next person who finds something might be like, oh, I don't want to say anything because I don't want to get sued. And now we all suffer because some power over in Columbus, Ohio, basically put his thumb down, this mayor, Andrew Ginther. All right, so TLDR, you should always qualify when you disclose what data was compromised. Based on our current information, we believe no sensitive information was disclosed, but that can be updated and changed. Tabletop exercises are a great way to help ensure that your resiliency during a cyber attack is, good to go, managed. Obviously, remember, misconfiguration, 0 days, access. So make sure that your access controls are tight. Make sure that your change control, oh my God, that's so boring, Jerry. Get out of here with change control. Guess what? It's a part of the control structure. And then make sure you're patching all the things. You gotta patch it.
Phishing scheme criminal sentenced. A Nigerian man will be behind bars in the U.S. for 26 years for stealing millions through elaborate phishing schemes. The UK resident was extradited to the U.S. in April of this year on wire fraud and aggravated identity theft charges. The scheme primarily targeted real estate businesses, where the criminal used the phishing tactics to compromise an email, monitor conversations, and then intercept large transactions, rerouting wire payment instructions to fake accounts.
All right, I'm sorry. I was looking at mod chat and like skibbity toilet things. Listen, guys, if you're an old, right? If you're a hashtag old like me, it may have penetrated mainstream society, but like the original OG phishing scam was the Nigerian prince scam, right? If you don't know, the 419, it's commonly referred to as the Nigerian prince scam or 419 scams. It was this Nigerian prince has got all this money, right?
Straight cash, homie.
And they want to get it out. And if you open a bank account in America and allow them to move the money into it, they'll give you a taste of that sweet, sweet money. And it's a complete scam, right? Because they'll want you to put money in, or you got to pay the taxes on the money, but don't worry, you're going to get it. Whatever it is, it's a scam as old as time. And finally, by the way, the Nigerian prince scam, it's not like it's one Nigerian running around Nigeria, scoring all sorts of fraud. It was like a social thing up there. I don't know how they got this guy, honestly. Kolade Akinwale Ojalde. Wow, that's difficult for me to say. 26 years in prison, compromising email through phishing. This guy's 34. He's going to be in jail until he's 60. Ooh, that sounds pretty sucky, my friend. Good.
Regulators, mount up. It was a.
Can I just say really quickly, this guy pled guilty and got 26 years. That's heavy. Usually when you plead guilty, at least from what I've heard, I don't do a lot of crime. When you plead guilty, you're typically supposed to get a lighter sentence. What's her face? That horrible human who worked with FTX and Sam Bankman-Fried, the one who was the CEO over Accolade Research or whatever the hell it is. She turned state's evidence and pled guilty, and she got a pretty light sentence for ruining hundreds of thousands of people's lives. So for this guy to get 26 years, they may really wanted to get him screwed. Okay, the scheme, he had $12 million in losses. He has to pay $3.5 million. Okay, sounds like he might get 26 years and then get out with a couple $1 million in money. And plus, if it's 26 years at a reasonable 5% money market rate, that would probably make some good money. Yeah, I do light crime, Quiet Gamer. I'm joking. I don't. You're not going to meet a less crime committing person than me. Now, I've got my skeletons, right? Let's be real, but I think we all do. Sophie Goodwin's in chat, ladies and gentlemen. Sophie Goodwin. Oh, Daniel Lowry's in chat, ladies and gentlemen. Daniel Lowry. Okay, can we get Ronnie Wong for the trifecta? All right, let's go. All right, so long story short, crime doesn't pay. This guy got arrested. Personally, I'm a big fan of the FBI when they go after these cyber criminals. Good. Thinking about committing crime? Look at this. Thinking about robbing someone? Look at this. Phishing works. And unfortunately, guys, especially romance scams, there's a ton of fraud and individual attacks happening. I personally have family friends who have been compromised to the tune of like $5,000. I know people who have reached out to me for guidance and consult on loved ones who are involved in a romance scam. Where they're just funneling money out to these criminals. So good. I hope we see more of these stories. I would love. It's barbaric, but I wish we could go back to the days where before they went to jail, you could put them in like the town square and then people could just like walk up and like point at them and be like, embarrassed. Shame. We need the Game of Thrones shame thing.
Thanks to today's episode sponsor, Vanta. As third-party breaches continue to rise, companies are increasingly vigilant, which means more time spent on manual security reviews. With Vanta questionnaire automation, security and compliance teams can complete security reviews up to 5 times faster, giving you time back to focus on running your security and compliance programs. Over 8,000 global companies like ZoomInfo, Smart Recruiters, and Nobu use Vanta to save time on security reviews. Visit Vanta.com to learn more about questionnaire automation. That's Vanta.com.
All right, we do have the Caroline Ellison, Nigerian Prince. Shame. Thank you, mods. Casually Joseph in chat. Hey, really quick, before we do the Simple Minds, I'm still working on it out. I do want to say thanks to the stream sponsors, Antisyphon. Many of you are in the Antisyphon Getting Started with Black Hills MITRE ATT&CK course. This week with me, we were taking over chat yesterday. Today's going to be no different. Let's just do a quick little, hey, how's your father for Antisyphon? We'll be back in 30. Quality cybersecurity education, regardless of financial position.
check this out. I want to give some love and some praise to Antisyphon Training, powered by Black Hills Information Security. Antisyphon Training is absolutely disrupting the traditional cybersecurity training industry by providing high-quality, cutting-edge education to everyone, regardless of financial position. They bring industry professionals with years and years of experience into the classroom to teach you and anyone else who's interested practical skills that are in demand in the market today. And on top of that, the student experience is amazing, as you and hundreds or thousands in some instances of other students are actively engaging, networking, sharing tips, tricks, and experiences with each other, all live in the classroom. Go to antisyphontraining.com, check out their course calendar to see what courses they have coming up next. You won't regret it.
All right, there we go. Oh, yeah. Dude, the timing's perfect. We got Simple Minds, Don't You Forget About Me. We've got the whole crew, Simply Cyber community members, Sophie Goodwin, Ronald Wong, Wes Bryan, Daniel Lowry, holy crap, Kathy Chambers. This crew rolls deep. Woo! Straight up love it. What happened to them absolutely sucks. I think we all agree to that as a community. But you know what? I love the fact that we have community, and I love the fact that we can welcome them into chat today, embrace them, say some nice things, let them know how we feel about them. Definitely appreciate you. Sophie, Ronnie, Daniel, Wes, Kathy. Love it, love it, love it. Listen, Simply Cyber community members, if you're getting value from the stream, holla. Hit that like button on YouTube. It goes a long way to help others find the stream. Simple as that. Guys, I want to thank the stream sponsors, Barricade Cyber, Delete Me, and Antisyphon. All about good times. Thank you. Thank you for all you do, guys. Now, I did see, yes, drop a link. Listen, I recently saw Daniel Lowry starting to get after it like a BA, content creator on YouTube. I think he's doing consistent streaming. If you guys don't know what's up with Daniel Lowry, oh my God, you got to get some of that. I think it's, there it is, my man. Check this out. Look at this guy, live stream, Cybercast, IRL. Just great person. You can see here, I am subscribed. So I'm gonna take a lap for being OG. If you're interested in offensive security or just good times, go check out Daniel's YouTube channel right now. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. All right, every single day of the week, we have a special segment. And Tuesday is Tidbits Tuesday, where I share a little bit about me and I guess just kind of see if we vibe on it, see what's up. I got to tell you guys, I think I've told you guys this before. I have a bit of an addictive personality, right? You know, if you know it, you can kind of manage it. That's why I try not to play CTFs. I actually fell into a CTF rabbit hole last night. Antisyphon and Meta CTF, you got me. But I just wanted to let you know, we are hardcore. I'm hyper hardcore, super excited about Simply CyberCon 2025. We've already got the conversations going. Obviously, we did the feedback yesterday, but now we're talking about trainings, workshops, hotel facility with meeting room and a restaurant and bar and all this other stuff. So super, super excited about that. I was exhausted yesterday. It didn't catch up with me, but I'm definitely happy to be on the back end of that. So just super excited. Got a crazy Q4 coming up. Going to be traveling to Atlanta a lot for a client engagement. But, that's what's up. Not really the best Tidbits Tuesday, but hold on. Amish Runaway says, who is Kathy Chambers? Amish Runaway, let me tell you who Kathy Chambers is. Kathy Chambers is a amazing, wonderful, kind-hearted, amazing information security professional. She works at Antisyphon Training now. She's been in the community for a while. And she's basically like a hug personified. She's like the human embodiment of a hug. That's who Kathy Chambers is. Let's get our la 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 la's on. Y'all, good stuff. Hey, what's up? I don't know if Nerdpocalypse is a first timer or not, but he did put hashtag first time, so let's give some love.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Modus Bella with 5 gifted subs. Wow! Thank you, Modus Bella, for the 5 gifted subs. If you're one of the 5 who pick it up, make sure you go into that squad emote tray and giddy up on it. All right, let's finish strong, get back into the news, and then we're going to go into some hot jaw-jacking. Feel me.
Google claims first vulnerability found using AI. Google's Big Sleep project, a collaboration between Project Zero and DeepMind, recently uncovered its first real-world vulnerability, a stack buffer underflow in SQLite. Found with the help of an AI model in October, this flaw went undetected by traditional fuzzing, sparking interest in AI as a supplementary tool for vulnerability research. Though an argument could be made as to whether this was actually the first time an LLM was used to discover a vulnerability. A security researcher with NeuroEngine said he discovered a 0-day using an LLM in April, publishing his results in June, but tells InfoSecurity magazine he believes Google's announcement was, quote, an honest mistake.
All right. So there's 2 things going on here, okay? So number 1, there's like, a technical information security related element for us to data mine. And then there's some nonsense going on, okay? So let's talk about the valuable part, and then we'll talk about the nonsense, all right? Google claims they found a vulnerability using AI. Just ignore the fact that it says first vulnerability using AI. They found a buffer underflow, not to be confused with a buffer overflow, but a buffer underflow. But basically, they said traditional fuzzing tools did not discover it, but AI found it, okay? Guys, to me, this is like I hate to sound like such a D, okay? But to me, this is kind of a nothing burger. Like, I get it, AI.
Shall we play a game?
I get that AI like sucks the oxygen out of every conversation. But guys, we have tools. You can't prove a negative, right? So you can't take tools and run it against software and then find nothing and be like, oh, this is 100% secure. No, you have high confidence that it is 100%. You have high confidence that it's secure, but you can't prove a negative. You can never say, and chances are it's not true, you can never say this is 100% secure, right? So, hello, GRC Mafia. So anyways, when you have tools in your toolbox, you use all the tools at your disposal to give you higher levels of confidence that there's no vulnerabilities in the software that you're looking at. AI is just another tool. So when they said traditional fuzzing tools didn't find it, but AI found it, okay, it's just another tool, bro. What if I made a better fuzzer and then it found it? Are we going to diminish the value of the AI discovery? No. Okay, so whatever. Here's my thing. If you're a security researcher, a pen tester, a reverse engineer, you absolutely should be using AI. AI is wicked powerful and it's super awesome. Get after it. But don't, this is not we're not planting a flag in the ground and saying November 5th, 2024, everything changed. AI found a security vulnerability. Come on. To me, I'm poo-pooing on this story, okay? Super powerful, but whatever. It's just another tool in the toolbox. Let's not get our pants off and lose our minds, okay? Second thing. Now, a security researcher back in April, this is the muck, if you will. security researcher in April said that they used AI to find something, and then Google comes off the top rope with all of their marketing power and all of their, money, frankly.
Great cash, homie.
And takes a victory lap that they were the first one to do it. Now, this researcher comes out and says, wait a minute, I was. Honest mistake. It probably was an honest mistake because Google's not combing the internet looking to prove whether or not this is a true statement. Why would they? I'm sure the marketing team at Google was like, oh yeah, let's lean into this. This is going to be great. Like Google, we already got Google Gemini, Google DeepMind, super cool. Google Project Zero, super cool. Google Threat Actor Group or Tag, the Google Tag people, super cool. I'm taking nothing away from Google and how awesome their secure InfoSec people are in all the different capacities. But this, I'm sure that the marketing team just like ran with this. Again, woo! Like take a lap, woo! Right? Whatever. All right. Sorry. The TLDR, you should be using AI. I would recommend using AI in your security, in any of your workflows, frankly. Writing an email, use AI. Reverse engineering a binary, use AI. Cooking fish and chips, use AI. Like, use it. Dude, final thing, and then I'll get off this soapbox. AI is like the equivalent of the internet in 2000. Like, you would be an absolute hammerhead if you didn't use the internet in the early 2000s. If you're like, no, I think it's a fad. Nah, I'm good. I'll stick with my Encyclopedia Britannica, which back in the day, you youngs, you Gen Zs, we used to have to buy like 50 books and then buy a bookcase to put the 50 books on. And then if you wanted to know something, instead of Googling it, you'd have to go and look in these big books, right? And then there was Microsoft Encarta. Oh my God, nostalgia. So hot.
That Hansel's so hot right now.
German authorities take down DDoS service. German authorities have disrupted
Bye, Sophie Goodwin.
a DDoS service platform used by cyber criminals to conduct denial of service attacks, making it accessible even to users with minimal technical skills. The takedown, part of Operation Power Off, has led to several arrests and the closure of other DDoS for hire sites, including digitalstress.su and Anonymous Sudan. Additionally, 2 suspects connected to the DDoS scheme are facing charges for allegedly facilitating the distribution of synthetic drugs.
All right. Okay.
Regulators, mount up. It was a
All right. So German police straight up lacing up the boots and kicking mud holes in threat actors. Whatever. Distributed denial of service platform was out there. Obviously, it was getting some action, or else law enforcement wouldn't have gone after him. They found who they were, and they went and dismantled their infrastructure and arrested their people, right? That's it. I do like the name of the operation, Operation Power Off. I like it. Denial of service as a service, right? That's not a mistaken statement. Threat actors on the dark web will offer knocking off systems or anything on the internet, frankly, for a fee. They've got the infrastructure, they've got the bandwidth, all the things. If you want a competitor or an adversary blown off the internet for a minute or for however long, you can hire these people. Now, you may be like, what? Why? How is this even allowed to exist? There is a legal version of this called stressing services, right? It's a business model where you can pay businesses in a controlled way to denial of service attack you or your business or your website or whatever, so you can validate that your controls that help mitigate the damage done from a denial of service doesn't actually get realized, right? So say Black Friday is coming up, you make 80% of your revenue during Black Friday. You want to make sure your website is not taken down on Black Friday, maybe you hire a stressor service to help test those things. So there is a legit thing, just like pen testing is a legit way to attack businesses and people. This, however, is super illegal, and we got a little, yeah. I mean, basically, this is just crime for hire. Okay, the two suspects who were arrested was a 19-year-old and a 28-year-old in Germany. Okay, here's my thing. Yep, we did the Black Hills Hug of Death yesterday to Meta CTF's platform. I got to tell you, man, I don't know why. Again, this isn't Threat Actor Academy. I'm not advising people to commit crime. But if you were going to commit crime, for whatever reason, you're back into a corner, you got to feed your kids and you don't know how to get money, right? If you were going to commit crime, I wouldn't ever do it inside the borders of a 5's country. These guys were in Germany committing crime. Dude, United States, Canada, New Zealand, Germany, United Kingdom. If you're gonna go all in on crime, you're making a lifestyle choice. I'm telling you, like, it always blows my mind when I see people getting arrested in these countries, because it's like, did you not, like, I don't know, maybe they thought their OPSEC was tight, but let's go. Anyways, final thing for practitioners, if you do have an online presence that is part of your business model, like the way that your business makes money, which you should absolutely understand how your business makes money. If your business makes money through an online presence, you should be considering some type of denial of service risk mitigation service. Cloudflare has one that's pretty popular. Okay, let's go.
New phishing attack infects Windows with Linux VMs. A phishing campaign named Cron #trap, that's CRON #TRAP, is deploying Linux virtual machines via phishing emails to infiltrate Windows systems with minimal detection. This attack, identified by SecureNix, uses a fake One America survey email that installs a 285 megabyte zip file containing a QEMU VM preloaded with a backdoor. Using the tool Chisel for tunneling, attackers can communicate covertly with the VM, bypassing traditional security due to QEMU's legitimate status.
What? This is insane, dude. I can't believe this works. I mean, I get it works. I can't believe the attack works. So literally, threat actors are sending phishing emails with this is the part that's bananas, a 285 megabyte attachment. That's the part that's out of control, dude. A 285 megabyte attachment that basically runs a PowerShell script to install a Linux virtual machine on the infected Windows machine, which then the threat actor can, come and go as they please into that Linux VM. This is the most like over the top. And the fact that it's in the news today means that it's working and some threat actors are getting it. Right. So you get, I guess here's an IOC, like if you have an end user, okay, let's talk about how to protect from this. This is insane. Number one, you may want to give consideration to not allowing 285 megabyte attachments through your email security gateway. All right. Now, there is legit reasons for large attachments, but in modern times, no one wants to get that, right? Like you just ate up a bunch of my inbox. Threat actors could pivot and just have a link in the email to a 285 megabyte download. So that's an easy thing for the threat actor to pivot on. Couple things here. One, you should, if you see a Linux virtual machine get installed on Carl's machine, that might be a problem. They actually have the commands here, the PowerShell script that runs. It's a start batch file. You can look for this in IOCs or in telemetry. it goes basically to a website. Now, remember, those domain names could be changed very easily. Go look at David Bianco's Pyramid of Pain. But this behavior is one that you could be looking for. Wading through logs, let me know if you think a detection could be easily put together. It launches a QEMU Linux VM. QEMU is an emulator, and it's a small footprint, right? Typically, when you're working with like firmwares and like IoT binaries, you might want to use QEMU. I don't even know how to say it. I've always just said QEMU to do that. So it is lightweight in that sense. So it's not like you're installing VirtualBox or VMware on a victim machine. If an end user sees this, there's a chance that they're being compromised. Obviously, here's the more telemetry on that PowerShell script running. I'll give this some love. Right? So there's a lot of opportunities along the way to secure from this particular attack. This is a great example. In fact, for those who are like, I think if you were going to go get a job interview for a SOC analyst, potentially a GRC analyst, this case study is a great one. To talk about an attack vector, which I can't believe is still working in 2024, but an attack vector. But more importantly, you could demonstrate how defense in depth would work, okay? Now, multi-factor authentication is going to do nothing for you in this particular instance because the attack is coming through email. The victim is then installing basically a Linux VM, and then the threat actor probably has some type of reverse shell that connects, and then they go into the VM, and now they're on your box. There's no access credentials compromised here. There's no 0-day. There's no misconfiguration. So those three main things I talked about earlier, none of those are involved here. This is social engineering an insider to basically open the door for you. That's what this is. Essentially, this is having someone on the inside accidentally open the side door and let you in, let an attacker in. A lot of opportunity to protect from this, and I hope you are not a victim. One America survey is, I guess, again, that can be changed very easily, but maybe do some threat hunting in your environment. Go look in your email gateway for One America and see if those are being sent to your end users.
DocuSign APIs used for invoice scams. If your company uses DocuSign, you'll want to note this story. Researchers have noted a rise in cybercriminals exploiting DocuSign APIs to send fraudulent invoices by leveraging legitimate DocuSign accounts and templates to mimic well-known brands. These attacks bypass traditional phishing defenses by appearing legitimate as they come directly from DocuSign's platform without harmful links or attachments. Recommendations to combat this include employee education, verifying sender credentials, internal approval requirements, and monitoring for anomalies.
All right, hold on here. So DocuSign is a very popular SaaS application that allows people to execute contracts and send documents and stuff like that. So the threat actors are using the DocuSign API in order to send legitimate looking invoices and requests. The attackers are creating legitimate DocuSign accounts. So, threatactor.com DocuSign account. So the threat actor has a legit account. Then because of that, they have access to APIs and templates. So then they're creating ones that look like they're from other companies. So far, so good, right? Then they use the e-signature service to circumvent detection. I guess the e-signature service. So it looks like it's coming from DocuSign, which would, give trust and authority to the document. Let me see. Once victim signs, attackers may request direct payment. So this is kind of so this looks like a long con business email compromise attack. That's it. there's nothing really technical here. There's nothing really technical here. Threat actors sign up for a legit DocuSign account, and then they send an invoice to a business that looks like it's from wherever, and then soon as a victim signs it, they send them an invoice and tell them that they have to pay immediately. And they're hoping that the victim is like, oh yeah, I just signed this contract. We're doing business. Business email compromise is a real thing, guys. Let me show you this one just to kind of show you the potential. Because this guy did the same thing. This is a Lithuanian man. Now, this is 2019, so, I'm dating myself a little bit, but this is to me the seminal case study of this. This is a Lithuanian guy, okay, who set up a business, named it like, I'm going to get the business names wrong, but just bear with me for what happened here. He set up a business called like Slamsung, right? Made it look just like Samsung, the technology manufacturer, called it Slamsung, made the invoices look exactly like Samsung, made everything look exactly like Samsung, and then he just started sending invoices to Google and Facebook, right? $25,000 here, $75,000 there. And the AP people were so used to seeing it that they just were like, stamp it. Yeah, pay it. Stamp it, paid. Stamp it, paid. And he did it for years. And he basically got off with about $100 million. Now, again, this is the most extreme example of a long-term business email compromise play, but it shows you the upper bound of what you can do with this attack. And it wasn't technical. This guy wasn't some elite 0 day with a cool handle like Zero Cool or Acid Burn. Like, he was just some Lithuanian guy who started sending invoices that looked a lot like another company's, and people paid him, right? Don't overthink it. He attacked the human, okay? So, anyways, what I would tell you is 100%, you should send this story to your finance team and your procurement team, procurement, finance, and accounting, and just simply say, hey, just want you to be aware, if you see some DocuSign requests come through, just double check them. They could be legitimate, but threat actors are using legit DocuSign now to perpetrate crime. That's it. That's all you got to say. You just got to plant the seeds in those people's minds that DocuSign needs to get a second sniff whenever the emails come in, instead of just like click, 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 click. All right, let's go. Nice job, everybody. Look at us just crushing it. Someone tell Nick Barker we almost finished right at the top of the hour. Wow. All right, guys. You are all amazing. We straight crushed it. 350 of you. I know some of you left to go to your meetings. Lord Nikon, that's a good one. Serial killer. Okay, guys. Hey, I just want to remind everybody that we got a lot coming up this Wednesday. Tomorrow, 2 Cyber Chicks, Season 5, Episode 6, Compliance Frameworks Galore. We're talking GRC, people. Come back tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. We're going to premiere this. Jackson, Erica, 2 Cyber Chicks, straight crushing it like a bunch of bosses. And then this Thursday, we got Denny Jenkins coming on. He's the CEO over at ThreatLocker, and he's doing some thought leadership discussions with us, talking about the current state of the market, threat actors, what he's seeing from his seat at the CEO. We'll be talking about ThreatLocker a little bit as well. So come join us. Come support the channel if you would. I would appreciate it. It goes a long way to help the initiatives that we want to do. All right. I am Jerry from Simply Cyber. This has been episode 744 of Simply Cyber's Daily Cyber Threat Brief. Excuse me. All right, I'm going to be pivoting. Eric Taylor's going to take the jaw-jacking. Everybody have a wonderful day. Be well. And until next time, stay secure. We got a new jaw-jacking intro, too. So teaser, surprise. Get ready for that. Let me know what you think. See you tomorrow. Bye. Cybersecurity. Join us every weekday for Jawjacking, where industry experts answer your burning questions about the cybersecurity field. Live, unfiltered, and totally free. Let's level up together. It's time for some Jawjacking.
Dude, I was not prepared for that intro. It even had me captive. I'm like, ooh, look at that. What's going on? If you're new, if you're a first timer, haven't seen my ugly mug on this stream, hey, good to see you. My name is Eric Taylor. I'm the CEO and Chief Forensic Operator here at Barricade Cyber, and it's my esteemed honor and privilege to be here as part of Jawjacking, where myself, DJ BSEC, Tyler Ramsey, who shows up from time to time, so many other panelists on the Jawjacking and Friday panel will give more of a technical breakdown than what Dr. Gerald Auger, where he sits in his high palace and he's being a CISO from 30,000 feet and he kind of knows what's going on, but he's not in the weeds, right? So we'll talk about the weeds of it and try to pick some of that stuff out, right? So I see Dr. Gerald Auger smiling in the background as I'm giving him trash. Let's see. I do have... Let's see, entire screen, screen 2. If you have any questions, as always, please put a Q with a colon there so that way I can quickly see everything. While I'm doing this and getting things ready, this is the story we'll talk about. This actually came up on Black Hills yesterday, talking about the news. Oh, did any of y'all see my ranting on Jawjack or the talking about the news yesterday? Oh, is this gonna work? I don't know. Did that work? Did y'all hear it? Awesome. Had to bring the dolphin back. I desperately need to get my sound stream or stream deck up and running properly, get the audio. It's definitely been a to-do item for quite some time. Oh, look at that. Gerald is sticking around, pinning comments for me or questions. This is awesome. Thank you, sir. So I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce your name, good sir or ma'am. Just not going to do it. I was asked in an interview, if there is a DDoS attack on the firewall is down from the traffic, can you secure the asset under attack? That depends. A lot of times, if you're under a true DDoS attack, it's going to consume all of the resources, the memory, the CPU, all that stuff, and that's really what stops you from processing traffic, because it's literally over here processing so much data from this external web source that it's not able to pass normal traffic. So I would say if you're an MSP or remote IT individual, it's going to be very hard, because you're going to try to get into that box, or you're going to try to remote into your jump box to be able to access that firewall, depending on how you have your remote management set up for that specific device. And it's going to get really muddled in all the other web traffic that's coming in on a DDoS. I do know that if you are internal to the building, a lot of times you have a management port or you have a console port that you're able to at least mitigate or be able to plug into, or if you want to matrix reference, jack into, and be able to mitigate and try to calm the web traffic down. I know a lot of operating procedures is to get to, especially if you're internal, like you're literally in the building with in the same network as the firewall. You'll get into that firewall, and then you will shut down your WAN interface. That preserves your logs, because a lot of times when firewalls are rebooted, it loses the logs. It just does. And that way you can be able to analyze your logs, see where these IPs are coming from. Is it a one IP or a range of IPs coming from a botnet, things of that nature, and be able to really do your filtering and be able to get web traffic up and running in a meaningful manner while you do further analysis to see what tweaking you do. So again, as much as I hate to say, it really does depend on your setup, the way that you are interacting with the environment, and again, if you're internal, external, things of that nature. I would definitely see if you can do some fire drills, right? And just say, hey boss, I want to do something sketchy. I want to hire a firm to do a DDoS on us, and see if, what are our standard operating procedures? Can we be able to access it remotely? Things of that nature, right? So coming from the Rich 464 question, what is your opinion on the sale of CompTIA to a private equity? There's a lot of sell-off. There's a lot of M&A mergers and acquisitions going on right now. I mean, we've seen ACI, what appears to be in a sell-off situation of the old, not Tech TV. I'm going to date myself now talking about Tech TV. The show, all the stuff that Daniel Lattery and everybody from over there, Juan, was part of. Did ACI buy it out to shut that division down, and then that way they have complete market share? Were they potentially just selling off everything? Who knows? The time will tell. I just know from an optics standpoint, from someone outside looking in, depending on what potentially may come out in terms of news, I don't like it. It gives a bad presence. It gives a bad persona to the organization, and especially right when we're getting ready for holidays too. I know I've said it before. There's a lot of businesses who are holding fast. Like, what do we do? Do we hire more people? Do we not hire more people? Should we expand? Should we not expand? Again, it's all political driven, 98% of it, because of the uncertainty in the market and uncertainty in the elections and things of that nature. I know people are literally waiting, not till the next couple of days when the election is finalized, but through even inauguration. Like, let's see who actually gets placed into, puts their hand on the Bible, does the actual inauguration, and see that come to full circle before they move forward. But laying off right before holidays, I've never been a fan of. I'm even telling my team, I haven't actually told them now, so listen in, team, but we have 4 months of savings. I'm constantly monitoring that. Like, I want to always make sure that whatever I'm doing for a business, it does not affect my team at all, and we can make more strategic plans on how to move forward, right? I'll be working next year even to make that even to a 6 or 8 month savings account, so that just gives us flexibility. Have those conversations, see if your boss will talk about that stuff, will make you feel better about being in that organization. I think maybe I overshare with the team on some of the stuff, but I think it's my duty, especially as a small business, to over communicate those things, so that way the team knows, hey, the holidays are coming up, the kids' birthdays are coming up, whatever the event is, they have job stability, unless they go and completely do something stupid of their own accord. That's a different story. But from a financial standpoint, I think it's my financial responsibility as being an owner and a good steward of the business to provide that stability. That way they don't have to come in and they can't log in because we shut down the business, right? So anyway, I do to go back to your original question. I personally don't like private equity. I personally see when private equity is involved that it is all about the ROI. And that's their purpose. They want to build it up That way they can maximize their revenue and be able to cash out and sell it off to either another PE firm or whatever. And it's just a massive cog in their entire wheel. I think it was Corey on Black Hills yesterday that was saying it, that, you know, when you lose your founding member of the organization, the company loses its direction, and it turns into crap. It really does. I cannot for the life of me think of one single event where a PE firm came in and just made it better. Please comment in the chat and let me know what you think. But have you ever seen a PE firm ever make a business better? I've seen PE firms leave a business alone, let it grow naturally and let it do what its own thing is. They just wanted to invest in the company. I have seen that, and I would not classify that as better. It's just leaving it the F alone to let it go through its natural course of things. Bear with me 1 second. All right. Kyle asks, how do you patch all the things? PowerShell? And to be honest with you, as much as I want to say patch all the things, you can't just... In the days of old, so I'm looking at mod chat. So in the days of old, you could literally download all, I mean, you still can, but you would download all the MSI files. You would create a script. It would literally go through one after another and patch, reboot, you're done. But in modern operating systems now, you have to go in batches. So you could have a device that's 6 months, a year out of patch compliancy. You can only do but so many patches before you're required to reboot and then go through another round and then reboot and then go through another round and reboot. And depends on what your patching cycle. Can you just go YOLO and just completely those patches through on the device? Yes. Would you brick something? Maybe. You know, going through patch compliancy and testing is important. I know a lot of businesses have a very loose mindset, and it's hard, especially like when you have so many different variables, so many different setups of hardware, software, things of that nature. It's hard to properly test every single patch for every single device, right? It's hard. So a lot of businesses will wait 1 to 2 weeks after Patch Tuesday before they approve and push it out. You know, they let the general public, if you will, be the quote unquote beta testers and see if Microsoft pulls a patch back or not because of whatever issues. Because there's a lot of folks out there that YOLO patches as soon as it comes out and it bricks stuff. And then they got major problems. So in the info security patching mindset, waiting at least a week for the general public to be the beta testers for the patch is a very real thing. And then you approve them, start your patch cycling policies, and try to get things patched through. Thanks, Dr. Joe Dozier. IT Pro TV was the original one before ACI Learning. That's the name I was trying to remember. Question from Babyface Pimp. What's up, Pimp? Are you a mobster too? Because you have Babyface? Sorry. Have you ever heard of software called Orion? Supposedly it defends against Pegasus. So does supposedly CrowdStrike and Sophos. When you actually have that EDR on your mobile device. That's one tool I should try to buy and see if I can zero click ourselves with CrowdStrike and some of these other EDR tools. I wonder if they let a discounted price for security researchers. Probably not. No. But no, I have not heard of Orion. But supposedly, like I said, all the other mobile MDM EDR tools supposedly block it as well. I've never seen a detection come of it, but we're not in that highly targeted space either. So, and neither are my clients, I don't think, to warrant the level of manipulation from a Pegasus tool. Like, you got to be pretty high up on that food chain. And we have some pretty high on the food chain clients, but I don't think to the level of Pegasus high up. I think a couple of them may get there soon, but that's neither here nor there. Question from Lucas Pirali. Sorry if I butchered your last name there. Question: if you have an asset that's on an isolated VLAN, is it better to go with external DNS and NTP locations, or would you use your internal DNS, NTP? What are the pros and cons to each approach? Well, Lucas, thank you so much for asking. As much as I hate to say it, it really depends. So a lot of our clients, if you have an isolated device on its own VLAN, there's a reason it's on its own VLAN. For either it's a legacy device that's no longer really supported, you want to keep it extra protected as much as possible. I'm assuming, you know, this device is going online because you are talking about NTP, you're talking about DNS. I personally think that I would want all of my logs centralized onto the firewall, so that way I can closely monitor it. If you're going to an external DNS, then you only have the DNS logs on this specific device that you can be able to fall back to. And I'd like to have multiple points of logging. But I'm a forensics guy. I love logs. I log all the things. So from a forensic standpoint, and even back when I'm saying it out loud, even when I was a network admin, you know, I would I would put it on the firewall. I would want multiple points of evidency and logging to go through to see what potentially happened or what is happening with a specific device. So I would say on the firewall. Okay, so a question came in, and thank you, Dr. Gerald, for giving me the URL here. So the question came in from Mohammed Umar. Any great GRC tools? So Dr. Gerald Auger, which I did not know, ladies and gentlemen. And maybe we'll get to this Okta thing. I will drop it here in chat, and I know I will bring it up here in a moment, full screen for everybody. I will pretend to be Dr. Gerald Auger as I print that into chat. But he's got this GRC assist tool. Program designed to pull relevant current news artifacts and keywords. So you can definitely use this. In terms of, you know, documentations and things of that nature to help you with it, I don't know what that may be. Yes, it's light mode because I'm in sandbox, Dr. Gerald Auger. Here. There, dark mode for everybody, because dark mode is life. But I normally am in and out of Windows Sandbox so much I don't do it. That nerd. So yeah, this is a tool that you can be able to use. Dr. Gerald Auger put together. So definitely see if that meets your needs there. All right, so since we don't have any questions, I will talk about this story here where Okta fixes the bypass bug after 3 months of lull, right? So this is really interesting, where Okta originally found the bug through some weird logging that they had. Oh, thanks for clearing that up, sir. They stated, you know, the vulnerability was discovered by Okta themselves on October 30th after lurking in the system for 3 months. While it's been since fixed, the company recommended the customers check their logs for any odd authentication attempts. I think this actually had the link. Let me post this in here. So So that's the original story. Let's see if this one actually has IOCs. I'm just scrolling through here. Nope, no IOCs. Great. So yeah, they filed the main attorney general. Okay, and blah 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 blah. So apparently they didn't disclose any POCs. The one thing that I wanted to ask, I am not fully up to date on Okta, but it says Okta also recommends that customers implement multi-factor authentication MFA at a minimum, as this was not applied as part of the execution precondition or exploitation preconditions. Question: isn't Okta an MFA? Is it? I'm pretty sure Okta is an MFA. You're partnering Okta with your Microsoft or with your on-premise AD or your Google Workspace to breed the freak. I'm so glad I got the dolphin back. To be the MFA. Are we supposed to bolt on another MFA to our MFA so we have double MFA? MFA squared? I mean, come on. Just catch it up on mod chat. Gary, get back in here. So anyway, that's my hot take of that one. I don't know. Just seems a little janky to me. I guess let me go to our website because I don't see any questions at the moment. I hate Bing. Why is this in light mode? Yeah, right here on Okta's webpage. You know, set up your game or step up your game with adaptive MFA. So are we supposed to MFA our MFA now? They got FastPass, they got the FIDO2 hardware, aka YubiKey or something else. Support for smart cards like SAT cards and stuff like that for if you're in the military. In the military. See you later, FedEx. Thanks for letting me steal your daughter. Oh, that sounded bad. Sorry. I didn't mean it that way. Oh, go away. Okta is also SSO and IAM. So yeah, I guess I could just be using Okta for the SSO aspect of things and identity asset management. So a question from Carrie. When it says that MFA can be bypassed via session hijacking, and that's why it can get hit by ransomware. Okay. Not to read it, I just seen the story come up literally about 2 hours ago, so I hadn't had a chance to really dig into the details. And as we learned on the stream, it doesn't show the IOCs. More election news, disinformation warnings and stuff on my CTI feed. Yeah, I talked about this on Black Hills yesterday. I think technology has destroyed the voter system. I really do. For us old people that are around, you used to do a Scantron or whatever, and it would scan it, and people would know the election results within 2 days, most of the time the same day. Right? Like even growing up, we used to even have a complaint growing up, but because you have the time zone differences, like Hawaii wouldn't even vote. Alaska wouldn't even vote. You want to know why? Because the election was already determined by the general polling results that are already in as it went across the country, that they just didn't even vote anymore. Right? So now we wait weeks and months for election results, and it's all technology driven. They've been in freaking hacker cons. They've been popping shells for these freaking the hacking machines for effing years. Have they fixed a single one? Not that I know of, because they're doing it all the effing time. Now, the one thing I don't know, because you still, at least in my local district, and yep, I voted today. Yay! Oh, I even got my legacy cybersecurity, the few, the proud, the paranoid. Not available at all on any merch store. Actually, there are a couple knockoffs, I think, but in my local voting municipalities, you still have a sheet that is printed after you vote. Like when you check in, they give it to you. It's got the header. It's got all your information in there. You stick it into the voting machine. It prints it off. Then you go over to the reader. So I am making a broad assumption that these things are not connected to the internet. So Trenchy Tick with a DFIR question. Ooh, my specialty. All right. So thank you, Dr. Gerald Auger. Trenchy Tech, what are some great open source DFIR tools for unlocking phones without wiping them? Oh boy. I'm trying to make sure what I say does not legally get me in trouble. Okay. But I hate to say this again. It really depends. It depends literally on the firmware and the operating system of said device, right? If it's got an older version, there may be a way to bypass it during the boot up process. 9 times out of 10 though, no, you're going to need a device like a Celebrite or something like that that's specifically designed for that type of data exfiltration. A lot of the newer iPhones, the iOS versions, I don't think Celebrite's able to bypass that initial boot logon. I could be 1,000% wrong. I'm not massively in that space. We are being asked to get into it. I've done some basic forensic stuff, like simply, DFIR tip. If you use Apple CarPlay in your vehicle and you use the app Waze, did you know there's 2 different histories for it? There's your normal phone Waze history and your Apple Play history. If you want to test it out, look for some address on Waze without connecting it to your phone or connecting your phone to your vehicle. Then go to your vehicle, connect, and look at your history. It's not there because it's two different histories. So anyway, I digress a little bit, getting off on a little DFIR tangent, but I don't think there's any open source without a vulnerability in the OS to do that topic without going a paid commercial route. I could be wrong. Again, put a big asterisk on it. I am not up to speed on all things mobile OS forensics. Again, we're being asked to do it. We're probably going to start doing it next year, but we've got some learning, including myself. There's been a lot of testing that I've been doing, just kind of poking around and seeing what's in the iOS and the Android and graphing system OSs, things of that nature, so we can start talking intelligently about some of these things. But it's a roadmap, right? So let me check mod chat real quick. Do we have a scheduled? Sorry if y'all just started hearing that. I may have just triggered everybody who uses Teams. Did I? You're still in chat. Talks amongst yourselves. I gotta clarify something real quick. Okay. I was seeing some stuff in mod chat and I had to ask Jerry a direct question real quick because I thought I royally screwed something up. I'm like, oh God, I don't think I did. Please tell me I didn't do that. All right, see a question from Kyle. Oh, gotcha. Thanks for that clarification. So Kyle asked, question for a newbie at an org, do you recommend focusing on learning PA firewall or Cisco STA ICE? All right, Kyle, you're probably not going to answer this or like this answer, but I would tell you legitimately go sit down with your boss and ask them. Right? In small business, let me let you in on a little secret. In small business works very differently than large businesses in terms of wages and functionality and being able to be a viable asset to the business, right? Larger organizations, we'll just say like Microsoft, Okta, Tesla, things of that nature, right? Those larger organizations, you can go in there and you base your salary off of industry standards for said job role. In a small business and a lot of medium businesses, your salary is dictated on your performance. It literally is. So you can go in and said, technically this could have been an email exact. You can, until you are able to bring more value or save the business money, you're not going to get a raise. I hate to say it, but that's the way small business works. And who are you to say that? I'm a small business owner. And this is the way we work. I talk to hundreds and thousands of small business owners. They all say the same thing. So go sit down with your boss and say, hey, I want to learn more about firewalls. I want to learn more about XYZ technology. What should I learn and start taking classes to bring value to this organization, because I want to be an asset. You take it that direction more times than not. When you say, hey boss, I've just signed up for this class, or I'm going to sign up for this class based off of our discussion that we should go Palo Alto, we should go FortiGate, we should go this, we should go that, whatever the case is, that software or technology is, but I need some help paying for this class. Because you're having these open conversations about bringing value and being an impact on the business, a lot of times your boss is just going to pay for the effing class. Or they'll say, hey, you know what? I understand this may be a detriment on you. And I did this when I was an MSP, when I ran an MSP. I was like, we will pay for everything fully when you take the class and you take the test and you pass the test. So you demonstrate that you're going to go through this, you're going to take it seriously, and you pass the test, the company will pay for everything. You save your receipts, and it's fully paid for at the end. Now, back then it was a little bit different. That was kind of an industry standard if you want to do stuff, especially for a small business. You know, we're going to be doing we do things a little bit more differently now here, especially with the different space that we're in. But you know, that's because you're having those conversations helps you open that up. Sorry, very long-winded. Yeah, guys, you would pay for the class. Again, back in my MSPs, like if you want to go get CompTIA, you want to get your A+, you would buy the course, you would study, you would take the test, you would pass. Because back then, CompTIA, the CompTIA A+ was literally like a 3 to 4 month process. It was one big test, like massive test, if I remember correctly. And there was a lot of training and a lot of stuff that you would go to. So, you know, and most employees would just drop out. Most would just drop out because it was too much for them to do. So that's why to put the initiative on that employee to finish and pass, the company would not pay for that 100% until you went through. Now that's back when the A+ was like, what, $100, $200? And I know back then that was still a lot of money back then as well, but you know, it's a lot cheaper than going through a SANS class and expecting my team to friggin' fork out $10K to take a SANS class that's going to be beneficial to the organization. All right. But then the company's got to decide, you know, do we go half? We pay half of it. And then when they complete the GX certification, then we pay the other half. So that way they still have some skin in the game. Yeah, these are things that business owners thinks about. So little peek into my head. Just catching up on mod chat. Let's try and catch up on questions here. Yeah, absolutely, Kyle. Space Tacos, how long has Barricade Cyber been barricading? What advice do you have for others who may want to open a similar business? Don't. In all seriousness, though, business ownership, it literally is a completely different world than everybody makes it out to be. Literally, I think I've said it before. Oh, be your own boss, they said. You can make your own hours. You can do your own thing. You can do... No, it's just not that way. I mean, when you are a freelance person, you're a 1 or 2 man shop and just starting out, maybe so. But as you literally get up in stature, you're getting more and more team members. You start looking around. I mean, we're small. Like we have 1, 2, 3, 3.5. Outside of myself, team members. So we're 4 or 5, whatever. Team member organization. And I made a comment a little bit ago of having at least 4 months in the savings account. You start realizing that it's more than you that depends on your livelihood. It's also more than you that depends on you to do honestly, I'm not going to use that. Just do a damn great job. Right? You got to make sure your team is doing a great job. You got to make sure that your clients are satisfied. I mean, business ownership is not for the faint of heart. This is why what is this statistic? So that way I'm not quoting improperly. We'll go to the Googles. So I'm Googling what is this percentages of business fail. So according to most data, around 50% of small businesses fail in their first 5 years of operation. So first year, approximately 20% businesses fail, roughly 50 close within the by their 5th year, and over 65% businesses may fail in their first 10 years. That's alarming. So more chances than not, you're going to fail. So just make damn sure this is what you want to do. And I don't say that to be negative. I really don't. Right? Me personally, I don't know any other way than not to do this. I am a really effing bad employee. I really am. I've been fired from more jobs because I get bored than I can count to. Business ownership is the longest thing I've ever done. And a business as a whole, and we've been at it for more than 10 years. We've been Barricade for coming up on 3 years now. And looking at the trajectory of the business, it's amazing what we've been able to accomplish so far. And it's really, really cool. And I'm really looking forward to, blowing the statistics as we grow and escalate. But again, I want you to make sure this is something you want to do because the odds are not in your favor. And if you don't have that drive and that compassion to do it, it's not going to be successful. So take a long, hard look internally before you do it. All right. That's an hour of my therapy session for you, Space Tacos. I'll send you a bill in the mail. You make your own hours as long as there's no less than 27 hours, 7 days a week. Phil, so freaking true. Now your team is not going to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning to start working an incident when they don't see you doing it. It really is a lead by example, and you work. I can tell my team will see me when they wake up. They'll see I've been communicating in emails. I've been on Signal. I've been doing this. I've been doing that. And I almost guarantee you, if I literally ask them, hey, look, I really need help. I need you to do X, Y, and Z. They probably know it's because I'm doing something else and I really can't do it at that time, even if it is 3 o'clock in the morning. Because they see me doing other crap all the time. So don't. That's the other thing, especially even if you're management. Don't ever ask your team members to do something you wouldn't do yourself, and show them. See, Amish Runway. Oh my gosh, Eric, that's so relatable. I don't want the stress of owning again. See, Amish Runaway knows. So Luke Canfield, what's up, buddy? My thoughts on doing another LLC is because the job market with major corps, I'm still doing research on the market again in my home area. Yeah, definitely do your market research, good buddy. Do it. All right, so we'll do a 10-minute warning. We are coming up to the top of the hour. Phil, that's kind of the tactic that we take, especially on our cases, right? One of our quote unquote sales tactics is we are a technically run business. And I think Tamara, who works for us now, that really put that in perspective. Like, I had a hard way of describing really the business as, we shoot straight. We already tell you how long we think it's going to take. And that's because we're a technically run business. We're not a CEO run business. We're not, pie in the sky, massive revenue type of thing, right? So I do pull out that big quote unquote big gun when we're starting to do our discoveries on these cases. Like, I'm the one who's going to be handling this case. I know what it's going to potentially take for us to do it. So when I tell you it's going to be X amount of dollars because of X amount of hours, 9 times out of 10, unless there's some surprises along the way, it's going to be what it is. Dude, Luke Canfield. So I know in our local market, those who are doing cameras, the most interesting model I've seen for pricing is they charge by the drop. Like they would charge like an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours for the consultant to help advise them on the proper NVR, DVR, the cameras, all that stuff that's applicable for them, whether it needs to be bifocal, the different lenses. Some of them are escaping me right now, but then they would just charge by the drop. And I think the last I heard was like $210 a drop. So if you had 8 cameras you were getting installed, it was $210 times 8. That was your price. They went and bought all the cameras and their equipment because the warranty was on them to go through and do it. Because most of the time they would pick something else than what you recommended. So you got charged for the consultation, and you got charged to put it in, and the warranty is not on you. It was literally the most interesting and coolest business model that I've seen for putting together CCTVs and stuff like that. Kyle, you may want to not say which SANS course, but just say what path do you think I'd be the better benefit, or I'd be most beneficial at, and use those you can use the SANS verbiage like cybersecurity incident responder or network forensics, or I wouldn't say SANS class right off the top, but just, you know, study the terminology for the courses. That way you're having multiple touch points of a conversation, and the owner will probably be more likely to buy in on paying for a SANS class, is my recommendation. Terrence Tech, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, that's why it's best to invest in companies rather than build one. A lot less headache and stress, I can tell you that much. I mean, I got people like Cashmere and JMod jacking up my blood pressure over here. Just kidding, they're good guys. Oh, okay. I didn't know about that little tidbit. That's good to know. So if they're already on board with SANS, then they already know pretty much the price tag of it, I would assume, especially if they mentioned it by name. I would still take it one step further and just, yeah, ask them which career path do they see you both being that we would, so how do I phrase it? Say, all right, Mr. or Mrs. Boss, you know, I'm going through the learning path for SANS, and I just have a question. Which path here do you think I would really resonate with, and that will be beneficial to the business? And then just shut up. Put the question back on them, because if you've worked at the organization for a while, they kind of know your mentality a little bit, what really gets you jammed up and what, you know, you really don't like. So, you know, they may say, oh, well, you'll be more of a reverse malware analyst because I see you do X, Y, and Z and not really DFIR or something like that. So have them help you figure that one out. And I would phrase it that way. Like, look, you've been looking at me for the past 6 months, 1 year, whatever the case is. You know, I'm really struggling on which career path in SANS to take. Can you help educate me on which one you think I would really enjoy and that would be beneficial to the company? Question from Space Tacos. Do you grill steaks or whatever in the rain or snow? Yeah, I don't care. I will grill it, smoke it. The only thing I don't run is the Traeger Flatrock, which is the alternative to Blackstone, right? Blackstone? I think so. So yeah. Yeah, awesome. Good deal. All right, ladies and gentlemen, those who, let's see, did my video's probably been taken down now. Oh no, it's not. So I fully suspect that I'll probably have to pivot and bring the sea shanty in, and then that way, because I know Dr. Gerald Auger is doing some revamping of his videos and stuff like that. So it probably won't be in Restream much longer, but we'll kind of go from there. So those who stuck around, come the spoils of the sea shanty, and until next time, stay curious, my friends.
A kid whose passwords laid across all sites, they were the same, a criminal, then found their fame by taking that data to go.
Soon may a criminal come to steal your pictures and data and run. One day when the crime is done, they'll steal your account and go.
content, keep the cybersecurity train going by connecting with the other Simply Cyber community resources. We have the Discord server that's lively and always keeps the conversation going. You can connect with me directly on LinkedIn. And also every single weekday morning on the Simply Cyber channel, we're doing live daily cyber threat briefings, 8 a.m. Eastern Time, as well as Thursday at 4:30 p.m. We're doing live stream interviews with industry experts, and we produce videos that we push out every Wednesday morning. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. I hope you enjoyed the content, and we'll see you in the next one.